What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. So we've covered AD carry, mid lane and jungle with these so far, but to be honest, top lane has probably changed the most. It is the hardest one to put together though. Like, I've spent a few days trying to get a proper ranking, so like the video if you enjoy it, let me know what you think, and let's kick this off with our 5-star champs. Top lane is a lot about counters, to be honest, but these are 5 stars because in my opinion you can pick them every game blind and you'll do fine. So Maokai is the first one, probably the best tank out there at the moment because of how much damage you do, your natural healing, and how easy it is to proc your courage of the Colossus. You're like a major counter to assassins. You press W and you lock them down. Your ultimate helps for team fights. You have a good lane and you just actually stack defense to do damage. This is one that I've actually seen a lot recently. I don't know if it's like the Victorious skin and flavor of the month or just if he's actually that good, but he seems to wreck every single game. Masteries 12-0-18. Colossus actually maybe with Battle Trance as well. Like, Battle Trance isn't that bad for tanks because it's more damage over time and you don't kill people quickly anyway. Items Sunfire, Iceborne and Visage. In my opinion, you can go Rod of Ages if you want to into like Sunfire and Visage afterwards for a more aggressive build, but I don't really think you actually need it. Poppy is the next one. She's best kind of like as a hybrid carry tank, I guess. I think Maokai takes the top spot just because of how good of a counter he is to assassins right now. Poppy though does have a stun. She has a knock up, a bubble like to stop Lee Sin and stuff diving in or getting away. Like, really good damage while being tanky as well. Your passive shield plus Colossus is ridiculous. Like, if you dive into a fight, there's so much of a shield. You don't have the best late game like most tanks, but early you can do so much work. Masteries 12-0-18. Grasp is actually better for the laner phase, but Colossus is so good in team fights. Like, Battle Trance as well is decent for the same reasons as Maokai. Items Sunfire, Iceborne and Visage seems to be like the go-to tank build at the moment. Deadman's Randuin's after if you want maybe a Thornmail. To be honest, just like Maokai, I think you're actually better versus AD because of Iceborne and how that works right now. That's partly why both are so good right now, because we're full of like AD assassins everywhere. Nasus is actually number 3, and this is kind of ridiculous because it's the good old Nasus overbuffs coming in strong right now. I just don't understand where we can have like blind pick Nasus and it not be a terrible pick, and it's a lot because of the Emacs as well. Of course, actually, I think abused this with Nasus to top 10 challenger twice now. I think it's ridiculous. Like, the Emacs means they can't freeze, they can't zone you, and you actually outtrade them. It makes his weakest phase in the game stronger, and like, just in general, you're tanky, which is good versus assassins. You have the Wither too, and obviously you scale like a beast. Masteries, you want to go 0-18-12 is Storm Raiders and the cooldown reduction as well. You kind of just smack them for a ton and run around with the speed up. Items, in my opinion, you want some kind of defense first. So normally it'll be armor like a ZZ Rot or a Frozen Heart, maybe a Visage, then into Triforce, Visage, Deadman, stuff like that. You get a lot of free stats with Nasus now with your ultimate, so Triforce is actually a legit item, like even better than before. You do damage and you're tanky. This last one might be a surprise. I can't believe I am actually encouraging this, but Tank Karma is probably one of, if not the most broken thing to come out of the preseason so far. You might think I'm trolling, but actually this is ridiculous. A friend of mine abused this to master tier, and there is a montage in the description if you don't believe me. Also a full in-depth guide as well. This really revolves around you abusing your heal from your mantra W tether, the shields. Combination means you push out damage, you absorb a lot, and you heal back for even more. You basically never die. Mastery 0-18-12. Wind Speakers is the most common at the moment, but actually he's been trying Colossus as well, so that might work, but Wind Speakers I think is better. Items, I would suggest reading the guide below because there is so much information there if you actually want to play this. It goes into everything. But basically, Rod of Ages, Iceborne, Visage, Redemption, and Locket are really good for lots of healing, shields, and also some damage. You're basically like an ultimate pill monster, but also a tank. 4-star or top tier, but maybe not in every single game. It's not something you want to blind pick, or things that are kind of flavor of the month and they might not stick around. So Riven is the first one. You're still good because of Black Cleaver versus tanks and assassins and stuff like that, but not much has really changed, to be honest. The problem for her right now is if Poppy and Maokai stack armor early, then they can actually kill you and you can't really do anything about it. You lose a lot of your lane pressure, and that's why she's only 4 stars. Masteries, in my opinion, will be 12-18 with Thunderlords. You take the cooldown reduction assassin with Bounty Hunter, maybe double-edged sword, but further might actually be good as well. It doesn't stack with abilities anymore though, that's why I'm not recommending it. Items, Black Cleaver, Ghost Spade still in my opinion. I think the move speed is good and the other stats, the lethality as well. Tiamat and Moore also really good. I actually like Moore and Malmortius a bit more than I did before because of how it was reworked. The cooldown reduction and also the AD when the shield procs. I want to say this one isn't a surprise because of how the meta is, but I think it might catch some of you off guard. But Nautilus might even make it into the 5-star tier soon actually. Colossus is so broken on him. He has a lot of damage naturally, crowd control and teamfight impact, but he's surprisingly good in the lane phase. Just because of his base damage, I think he might be one of the best upcoming tanks right now, especially with the new masteries. Also a lot like Maokai, probably actually even better. You're a hard counter to assassins. You press R on them, you hook, you auto. That's so much time they are locked down, and it's so easy to blow them up then. Masteries 12-0-18, Battle Trance and Colossus as well. The shield from that plus your W shield is ridiculous. Like, you have so much damage prevention anyway before they start knocking away your health. Items, Sunfire, Iceborne, and Visage, no real surprise. You can get Rod of Ages for damage if you want to. Leandries, Legendaries, Abyssal if you really wanted to go ham, but full tank works to be honest. So Fiora is one of the few champions to get buffed by the new fervor rather than actually nerfed. Fiora didn't stack it with abilities and she wants AD or not on hit damage anyway. She is also a tank killer, which is perfect for right now. She didn't really use lethality and kind of only got buffed after the preseason. She might not come up a ton right this second, but in theory she is a lot better right now. I've asked a lot of people and they actually all say Fiora is one of these hidden picks that might be coming up soon. Masteries 18-0-12 fervor. Battle Trance is fine as well because you're fighting over time. You're not exactly a burst champion. Items Hydra, Black Cleaver, Bloodthirster, more Mortius, Guardian Angel. Actually more again is better for her now as well, I think. Like overall she just got a ton of buffs and I think she's really good. Now this one is a weird one and I will admit this is a bit weird. Renekton. So this is a bit of a surprise, but it's because of the build at the moment for him is ridiculous and it's way too strong. Before you flame me for this one, because I know there's going to be a lot of people, just try it out. It's a health stacking damage tank build with Courage of the Colossus. It means your lane phase is still very strong, you have good trades, but you're also more effective in team fights as well. Masteries are actually 12-0-18, Colossus and Battle Trance. Colossus procs off his W by the way, and he gives a nice little shield in the lane phase to trade with, but the huge one in team fights. Items will be going Black Cleaver, Titanic Hydra, there are your damage sources, then Locket, Deadman's Visage, Randomins afterwards. Locket looks super weird here, I know, but it's actually the shield from Colossus, then the shield from Locket is just really good. You have like both shields, one after each other if you time this right, but basically you have the damage from the Black Cleaver, so your base damage does more. Titanic scales with your total health, so does Colossus shield as well, so what we're actually doing really is getting more damage and a bigger shield just by stacking health. So let's move to the 3-star tier, and this is kind of like the average level. They are very good, but they're still not like overpowered or kind of top tier, I guess. Yasuo is the first one because you also got buffed by the further changes, giving him AD, already good and now just a bit stronger, I think, actually in the preseason. Your ultimate helps with tanks as well, and I'm still not going to put him higher just because you can do absolutely nothing, but you can also be super good. I've actually seen Colossus semi-tank Yasuo too, which is not cool. Like, honestly, that is ridiculous. He dives in, gets a massive shield from his ultimate, and he just doesn't die. Masteries, I still think 18-12 with fervor, though Battle Trance or Bounty Hunter most likely, and items would be like Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster, Frozen Mallet at some point maybe. One thing to note as well, Blade the Ruin King and more Mortius are actually a little bit better on him now as well, so in certain situations they could be good too. Rumble is the next one, still a good pick in my opinion, gets relatively tanky versus assassins like Zhonya's, Rylai's and stuff, and also burns through tanks with Leandries. Most of these champions are good versus AD champs, right? Rumble is one of the few AP champions that can kind of mess with that actually, and not much has changed, so you're still good. Masteries 18-0-12 with death via touch, and items same like Leandries, Rylai, Zhonya's, Void, Proto Belt. You can mix and match between whatever you really need in the game. This is another kind of theory one actually next, Talon. Now a lot of people actually think once the meta settles down, Talon is going to be better top lane than he will be mid. Now I'm still not sure, but I have seen some do really well recently. His burst is still good, but I think his sustain damage is actually decent as well, even though people aren't really playing him for that. Like if you went for more of a hybrid build, it makes it easier for him, I think. He holds his own in lane and he can do a little bit more top. Masteries, I'd still go 12-18 with Thunderlords and then Bounty Hunter or Double-Edged Sword, depends on what you really want. Items, you have two options though. You either go Duskblade, Black Cleaver, Ghostblade, just like a normal Talon build, or you can go this other build we've seen more, Black Cleaver, Titanic Hydra, Death Dance. It's not tank, but it's kind of more bruiser. I am still testing this, but so far it seems super strong right now. Either way, I think he should fit in here at the top lane once the meta settles down a bit. The last one in tier 3 is going to be Darius. You're still very good in the lane phase. Not much has really changed for him at all, and I've seen a few different variations, but he can crush lane. He's good versus tanks, and he should get tanky enough to survive burst damage from assassins. Masteries 12-0-18. You can go Grasp, or you can go Colossus actually as well. I know it seems a bit weird, but your E procs it. It's pretty nice for short trades in the lane or in team fights. It's kind of a lot like Renekton actually. Now either way, the build stays the same kind of. Black Cleaver then tank, or Black Cleaver then Titanic and tank afterwards. It means the Colossus shield will be bigger, plus like just as normal, you need one reset and you're going to pop off. So I just wanted to do 12 for the top lane because I wanted to highlight the best ones I think so far, but that means we've only gone down to 3 stars, so I just want to quickly highlight a couple of others. I think Singed, Irelia, Trundle, and Jace are all going to fit into the 2-star part of this. They're all very good, but they're kind of situational at the moment, and I think they might be getting better over time. Jace is one that I think it depends on skill more than anything else, so you can outplay assassins if you're good with him. You can do well versus tanks as well, but if you don't really abuse your early advantage, I don't think you're actually that good right now. Irelia, again, is one that can pop off. She's like this hybrid between tank and damage, and I feel like they're actually just tanks that do her tanky job better and damage who do her damage job better. I know having half and half is not always a bad thing, but I think right now we actually want to specialize into tanks or into damage. We don't really want in the middle as much. Trundle is one that is going to be a reaction to the tank meta if we actually get into it. If we see loads of Maokai and we see loads of like Scion and everything like this, then Trundle will come back up because of his ultimate is so good. Naturally, Trundle is pretty good anyway. You can go kind of more of a bruisery build because you can actually take Courage of the Colossus. It works with your pillar, it gives you a massive shield, it kind of makes him more of a versatile tank and a tank killer at the same time. Singed finally is like an off tank, kind of actually just a tank really. He doesn't really die. He's really annoying for assassins to deal with, and he can just run at people and engage as well. I don't think Courage of the Colossus is really worthwhile on Singed. I'd probably go for like Death by Touch or something like that, but just bear in mind that I think actually he probably will be getting better over the next couple of patches. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of these picks that I've chosen. Thank you for watching until the end, but for now, let's go to the robots.